My car is now a bit over 2 years old, and for those people who've been watching my videos for the last 2 years can see that my car's been pretty trouble-free. Early software issues in the first few months. Other than that, there hasn't been any issues. Because the car is 2 years old now, there's certain things that I had to replace, obviously, like tyres. A bit disappointed. I had Pirelli tyres on it, lasted about 28,000 k's, but I live in a small town that has a lot of small roundabouts, and when I come out of my garage here I go 90 degrees and I go out in the driveway and then I go another 90 degrees and I've got another 2 corners, then I've got a roundabout. So basically every time I get out of my house or my garage, the car is constantly turning. With the progress of getting to know my car, I bought a new accessory, which I'll show you what that is in a minute. And I'm going to go over something that I did when the car is due. And this is a product you can buy at your local car accessory place, and I'll show you how I use that. This is one of the reasons why I got such good shine on the car. I had a friend who had a new Subaru Forester, always admired the shine on my car, and I loaned him this, and he was ecstatic at the results. So in a minute I'll show you how that works. Okay, the little red object I showed before is actually a clay type product for claying JUCO. Now how it actually works is you have a little bit of lightly soapy water, and the original theory is when the car is new is that after the time you get them, particularly if they're imported cars, the paint could be on there for 2 or 3 months, and by that time the oils come up through the paint and sit on the top. And I've been told that that sitting on the top then with the sun on it can cause some irregularities in the paint, and more irregularities, the more the pollutants stick to it and that sort of thing. So this particular device is that you go like this and you can actually feel some resistance to begin with, but when the resistance clears, that means that you've actually released the pollutants. Now, originally it was the original oils, excess oils coming out of the paint, but now I'm doing it because to get the pollutants off. And you basically do that, and you just rub the section down, and you have this amazing smoothness. You can feel the difference between here and here. You can hear that. So there's a total difference between the two. So I'll be spending my afternoon doing that over the whole car. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it takes a long time. And then I'm going to use some wax to seal it. And that's a good way to spend an afternoon hiding from the coronavirus. Okay, I finished the clay work, and now it's time to wax. This is Auto Glim high definition wax. I've used this before. You've got to make sure it's got a little bit of moisture on the pad here, and you just do some light circular motion. And because the car has been waxed twice already in the last 2 years when I first got the car, and then at 12 months I did the waxing as well. And so I'll just do a little bit here, and just hopefully it'll come up on the camera how well the shine comes up. Okay, so I'll get back to you in a while after I finish the car, but so nice and slippery after a lot of rubbing. This is my wax job. The Auto Glim wax does a fantastic job. As you can see, the reflection of the garage door and the fridge in the corner there, it's just amazing. Okay, it's time to show you my mystery accessory. It's a sunscreen cover that I got online, and I got it from the US. Unfortunately, a lot of car firms in Australia think we've made of money, and we call it the Australian tax. We pay 2 to 3 times the price on accessories than US or UK does. So I'll show you how it works. As I mentioned earlier, the car had new tyres put on it. I got the BF Goodrich all-terrain KO2s. The tyre has been used on this car now for 6 months. The things I noticed with the tyre, obviously the tyre is a little bit noisier, but not a lot. Particularly when it was brand new, it was noisy, and then it settled in. At 10,000 Ks I got a tyre rotation, and boy, that made a huge difference in the noise level. And so at 100 Ks on smooth roads you can't really notice that much difference. It's mainly when you're slowing down, and in fact on a coarse bitumen country road it is actually quieter than the original tyres. So for some reason the big grooves tend to absorb the pebbles or the rocks sitting up in a country road. But another concern, and I've heard people having problems or saying their fuel consumption's increased since they've gone to all-terrain tyres away from the factory fitted tyres. We're currently in a virus situation. I'm staying at home as much as possible, and so this is one reason why I'm doing this video. I found when I went away about 5 weeks ago, I went up the north coast and did a 510 kilometre trip, and that includes going through Sydney, and it wasn't through the expressways through Sydney, it was through the old A roads, and so I have lots of traffic lights and that sort of thing. And when I got there, I stayed there for 3 nights, and then went looking for surf every day. And so the car was stopped starting up there, and then the trip back, and I was really happy with 7.7 kilometres per litres per 100 kilometres. So the tyres haven't affected a great deal with the fuel consumption. It is time to check my AdBlue level as well as my oil levels. So to do this, you simply press the start button without your foot on the brake. You just press OK to clear that. You press OK again, and then it gives you some choices here: display settings, vehicle information. Click on that, and it goes down to next service, and here's how much distance you got before you need more AdBlue. and that tells you how long I got to go before my oil. So hit the left arrow key and you can move down, push OK, and then you can see what your oil level is. So that's basically the only way you can check your oil level. There's no dipstick in the V6 diesel. Part of owning a modern diesel is the need to have AdBlue for you to work with your particle filter to lower your emissions. The issue I found when I first looked into it, you could buy AdBlue from anywhere from 99 cents, which I did from a Bowser that I've put into here, or you can pay for a 1 litre container up to $9.95. I saw it online today. So I found the easiest way was to get the jerry can. This happens to be a Willow jerry can. It varies in price on the net currently, believe it or not, from $31 to $40. So depending on where you go, you can pick it up reasonably cheaply. The beauty of the diesel nozzle here, it fits perfectly into AdBlue. Plus it's got a little bit of a breathing pipe here, so when you're filling, it'll run nice and smooth and nice and slow. You can't put high speed AdBlue into your AdBlue system, it will blow back. So I've put some AdBlue in once in the past, and normally it's covered during the warranty. I find with a service that comes back topped up as part of the oil change. So it's not something that you're doing all the time, but if you're taking a long trip, and sometimes you may have to take your own AdBlue if you're going away from major cities or something like that. I know a lot of trucks have AdBlue these days, but if you're out the back of Burke or somewhere like that, you may have some issues if you start to get low on AdBlue. So I'll show you how that works. And it's quite easy to add the AdBlue. Oh, I think it's a good idea to get an old rag around here just in case you spill any, simply because you don't know what AdBlue will do to your paintwork. Just a matter of getting the AdBlue container, put it into the hole, and then you slowly just pour it in. And that's basically all you do. If there's any residue, just keep it clean with an old towel, and you can save yourself a lot of money by buying it in bulk and getting yourself your own container. And also you've got the peace of mind if you go on a long trip, you can top it up just before you go. I believe the tank for the AdBlue is roughly 17 litres, I've been told, and also the consumption can vary substantially depending on whether you're towing or not. Some people talk 500, some people talk 900 k's per litre, just depending on the work it's going through, whether it's hard off-road or hard towing or just easy highway work. That's just another something to look at your Discovery if you've got one, or if you're thinking of buying one, it's something to put in the back of your mind to get used to having a modern diesel.